Investigations are underway after a South African National Defence member was shot dead by insurgents in Mozambique. The SANDF says the incident occurred on Monday when soldiers were deployed as part of the SADC mission to Mozambique and being ambushed in the Chai village. To give us more on this, we are now joined on the line by SANDF's Brigadier-General Andries Mahapa to tell us exactly what may have happened. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. What happened here?
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning to your listeners as well. It's a sad day since Sunday until today for the SANDF, that today we have to speak about our loved ones who lost their life at Mozambique. It's unfortunate that happened, and it happened during an ambush while they were busy patrolling. So it was an exchange of fire. We sustained some injuries. Others were treated on the scene. Unfortunately, one member passed away just when the dust settled, then they realized one died, one of our own.
And as soon as that was realized, what's then happened? What processes have been followed when it comes to that SANDF's remains?
Obviously, because it's a SADC mission, they have to take the remains to the SADC headquarters, and then arrangement has to be made for the body to be flown from SADC to South Africa. As we are speaking now, the process is underway that the body is coming to South Africa, whereby it will be welcomed by officials of the SANDF and then the family members, so that the member can get a befitting funeral, because he died as a hero representing our country outside the borders.
Are you able to disclose the member, male, female? What do we know, age, and some of those factors?
Currently, with respect, ma'am, we can't, because we need to inform the next of kin. Once they are notified, and then we can make that available for public consumption.
Do we know the age?
I cannot give that as well, unfortunately. We need to inform the family members first, please, ma'am.
So as you and I speak, what's the situation now? How many troops are on the ground, and what hard decisions do you think will be made in the coming days because of this death?
Currently, we have 1,495. Unfortunately, we lost one member, which equals to 1,494. But the situation is still tense, because the insurgents, they are still misplacing people, killing innocent civilians. So the war is still continuing, unfortunately. But as soldiers and representing the country and the continent and the region, we have to be there to stand our ground so that we defeat these insurgents. We don't have any other alternative. That's our call, to defend the country.
When it comes to the scope of this investigation and perhaps unraveling what exactly happened and what resulted in this SANDF member being killed, what forms the scope of your investigation? Basically, in a situation like that, because we are fighting not a conventional war, it's more of an asymmetric kind of a war, whereby you are fighting within the local population, where you cannot necessarily identify the enemies. But however, as South African soldiers, we are trained for that. Members, they were busy with their patrol, and they were in an ambush. During an ambush, they have to fight their way through. That's what happened. You know, during an ambush, an exchange of fire, on the other side, they also sustained injuries, and then other members were killed. Unfortunately, we only lost one member, which is not a nice thing to say, but that's how it is being a soldier, unfortunately. And what sort of other major losses has South Africa suffered during this, confrontation, especially looking at equipment and other factors?
With regard to that, the investigation is still underway. I won't be in a position to give a conclusive response to say we have lost X amount of equipment, but it's very minimal, because we managed to retaliate with fire, and then we sustain minimal in terms of damages regarding the equipment. But the later report will be more conclusive.
in terms of the equipment, apart from the loss of life.
We know that the violence in Cabo Delgado has escalated in the last year. I mean, you speak about the number of troops, SANDF troops on the ground, and that how you will continue in this mission. What are the major concerns now as this violence intensifies? And, you've just lost a member of yours. What are some of the perhaps more boosted contingency measures that you will be taking?
What I think probably it's more of a political direction that is needed now. The heads of state within SADC need to sit down, probably maybe reinforce more soldiers so that we can have more numbers on the ground. By so saying, it will give us an added advantage in terms of quelling all the terrorist attacks that are taking place. However, we don't have any other choice, irrespective of our limited capabilities, as you know, the economy of our country. We do everything in our power to quell the terrorist attack. But I think the heads of state, when they sit, they'll be in a position to give more direction in terms of the way forward. Taking into account, if I may say, that an extension was given by the President until the 15th of July 2022. What would happen after 2022? It will be a political decisions that need to be taken by the heads of state.
Okay, so are you saying that at that point, that's when some of the troops may return home?
Depending on the situation by then. If the situation is worse, then if the President, the Commander-in-Chief, so wish that we must stay or continue, then we'll do so in the interest of South Africans.
Very well. Thank you so much for that update. Brigadier-General Andries Mahapa speaking on behalf of the SANDF, of course giving us the latest on what happened to the soldier who was killed and how that process unfolded.